Dream matches are always some of the most fun for us punters to fantasy book. Two superstars who should have faced off with each other, but have never done so, gets the fans incredibly excited even before they lock up for the first time in the ring. Here at Aussie Cousins Wrestling, we think it would be a dream of yours if you hit that subscribe button, and we're going to count down 10 matches you've never seen before in the WWE that could actually happen. Number 10, Naomi and Bianca Belair. That's right, Naomi and Bianca Belair have never taken each other on in a one-on-one capacity in the WWE. They were part of a fatal four-way match at the start of January 2025 to determine a number one contender to Tiffany Stratton's newly won WWE Women's Championship. They were also a part of the Elimination Chamber right here in Perth, Western Australia last year, but as combatants against each other with no one else in the ring, nope, they haven't done it. Well, not yet. Clearly this storyline between Naomi, Bianca and Jade Cargill is heading for a Wrestlemania match between Jade and Naomi. But with the breakdown in the relationship between Bianca Belair and Naomi, surely their first match together will be on the horizon very soon. Number 9, AJ Styles and CM Punk. AJ Styles and CM Punk have faced off against each other in a singles match on 7 occasions between 2003 and 2004 in Ring of Honor and other indies around the time. But since AJ Styles debuted in the WWE in 2016, CM Punk was long gone from the company as he ventured elsewhere. But at Survivor Series in 2023, CM Punk shocked the world by returning after the War Games match in his hometown of Chicago. AJ Styles unfortunately has been plagued by injuries in the last couple of years, something that took 7 months off Punk's in-ring career in 2024 as well. Now the two veterans of the squared circle have every chance of competing against each other at some point in the near future in the WWE. The dynamic of the two of them would be substantially different to their matches in the early noughties, but both men are true wrestling geniuses that could put on a match for the ages. Number 8, Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky. The prettiest moonsault ever? Going up against the over the moonsault? Sign me up. The two current women's champions heading into WrestleMania have two of the best high-risk moves in all of wrestling. While we may be cheating just slightly with this one, because Io Shirai, as she was known then, did beat Tiffany Stratton in 4 minutes at the start of 2022 in NXT 2.0, both wrestlers are worlds away from those days as they are now two of the biggest superstars in the WWE. Io Sky is rightfully called the genius of the sky because she can fly around all over the place in the ring and excels with a bigger wrestler to base off of. But Tiffany Stratton, despite her extra height over the Japanese sensation, is more than comfortable getting aerial with her fantastic looking moonsaults and swantons. Io Sky is performing about as good as she has ever performed in the ring right now, and Tiffany Stratton, at such a young wrestling age, is one of the most talented women in all of wrestling as well. A true definition of a dream match with a story that writes itself. Number 7, Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker. Considering this has been teased a couple of times in the last year, this just about goes without saying. But the energy in any arena when these two absolute badasses face off is electric. This first happened on the 22nd of October episode of Monday Night Raw, with Bron Breakker challenging Jacob's cousin Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship he lost a month earlier. When Solo proudly showed the world that he had tickets to the show, the distraction finish was clearly on. With the referee occupied elsewhere, Jacob Fatu destroyed Jey Uso to help Bron Breakker. But it was the face-off at the end that got a massive instant reaction from the crowd that got many people very excited that the two athletic freaks could one day have a massive match of their own. Number 6, Becky Lynch and Roxanne Perez. Becky Lynch is one of the most successful women's wrestlers ever to come out of NXT and make her name on the main roster as one of the 4 horsewomen. In 2023, she went back down to NXT and won the NXT Championship over the previously mentioned Tiffany Stratton. Becky then put on good matches against Natalya, Tegan Nox and Indy Hartwell before losing it to her protege Lyra Valkyria in a cracking match just over a month later. But one of NXT's biggest success stories over the last couple of years, Roxanne Perez, has only ever been in the same match as Becky Lynch in Royal Rumbles. Roxanne's technical ability combined with Becky's veteran craft could put together an absolute classic worthy of any major premium live event. Before we get to number 5, just a reminder that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then you're missing out on this Aussie charm to your WWE analysis. So why not help us out and click the button right now. Number 5, Andrade and Penta. Two of the best Mexican wrestlers of the last decade or so have been in the same company together for many years. Andrade made his debut in All Elite Wrestling on the June 4 episode of Dynamite, while Penta had been signed to the company since 2019 as Penta El Zero Miedo along with his brother Rey Fenix. The two have been on opposing sides in AEW on 2 separate occasions, but have never had a singles match together. Now that Penta signed with the WWE, the two high flyers could well see themselves facing each other. While it may not happen just yet, with Penta being on Raw and Andrade being on Smackdown, there's every chance one could move to the other soon through the draft. Or the fact wrestlers just often show up on the other brand at random times, and these two could put on something that you just do not see in the WWE at the moment. Number 4, Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss made her surprising return to the WWE at the 2025 Royal Rumble, getting one of the biggest ovations of the night. She then qualified herself for the Elimination Chamber and put up a good showing in that wonderful match as she blows away the ring rust from having more than 2 years out of wrestling. Had she won that, she would have been on a collision course with the superstar Australian, until she was beaten by Io Sky on Raw 2 nights later. But amazingly, one of the biggest stars of the women's revolution and one of the biggest stars of the last few years have never had a singles match against each other. They have been opponents in War Games, a Fatal 4-Way and an Elimination Chamber, but seeing Rhea Ripley try to throw the former goddess around while Alexa Bliss uses her craft and counters to take down her stronger opponent could be a load of fun. Number 3, Ilya Dragunov and Kevin Owens. One of the best indie stars from the early 2010s taking on one of the best indie stars from the late 2010s? This could be absolutely insane. Kevin Owens and Ilya Dragunov are very different people, but in the ring they are both more than happy to put everything on the line to produce a banger match that the crowd will always remember. Ilya Dragunov plays the character with impenetrable fighting spirit and unbelievable cardio, who eventually grinds down their opponent until they can't handle the pressure anymore. Kevin Owens, on the other hand, may never give up himself and is more than happy to bring the brutality, mixing it in with his uncanny athleticism for someone of his size. Once Dragunov is back from his horrible ACL injury, if the two of them ever get into a feud together, it could very well produce a 5-star match. Number 2, Charlotte Flair and Jordynne Grace. How about putting the most decorated women in the history of wrestling up against one of the biggest improvers in the ring since those dark COVID times? Like Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair also returned at the Royal Rumble, and after winning the whole thing, she set up a Wrestlemania match with Tiffany Stratton, a dream match in itself. Jordynne Grace is currently on the NXT roster while the main roster was set on its course to the grandest stage of them all, but now that the Juggernaut is finally in the WWE full time, there are so many big matches she could have, and a match against Charlotte Flair would be out of this world. Charlotte Flair is known as one of the strongest women there has ever been in the WWE, but Jordynne Grace may very well have her in that department despite the substantial height difference. And number 1, Gunther and Roman Reigns. The two men in the WWE most synonymous with long title reigns have been on opposing sides once before, in that 15-man elimination match at Survivor Series 2019, where Gunther, as Walter back then, was essentially buried as the first person eliminated. While Roman Reigns has a very part-time schedule these days, Gunther is there every week at every live show and can put on a great match with any member of the roster. Just go watch his match against up-and-coming superstar Axiom in Barcelona for proof. A matchup against Roman Reigns could very well be one of the biggest in the whole industry and would be an epic worthy of headlining the biggest event in the world. Can you find any other possible dream matches that have never happened in the WWE? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you help us Aussies out by hitting that big old subscribe button right after you hit the like button. And of course, most importantly of all, we hope that you all have a wonderful day.